Hi, I'm Gigi Gaskins at the House of Secrets comic book store. I'm here with Man of Action's Joe Casey. What was your thought process behind the sex series?
Um, well, I don't do that many ongoing series anymore. So if I was going to do one, I wanted something with a premise that I felt had a lot of room to for exploration. And I thought that I'd come out of the superhero genre. I'd done a lot of work at Marvel and DC with their biggest superhero icons. So I want to take that trope of the mass vigilante and explore it from a different angle, which in this case was what happens after that superhero retires and what kind of life does he have for himself? What kind of life can he have for himself after he's devoted everything to this one pursuit? There's meta commentary in it, in the fact that the lead character, Simon Cook, in a way represents the grown up superhero comic book fan, which, as much as we love this stuff when we're kids and love it very innocently, at some point we got to grow up and realize, come to terms with how we feel about these characters and these concepts that were really made for children originally. And as generations of fandom have grown up with it, we've held on to these things kind of with a tight grip, have had trouble letting them go. So the character of Simon Cook in Sex also has that trouble letting go of his old life. And for me, as a writer and as a person who loved comics growing up and still loves them and still gets a kick out of superhero comics to a certain degree, I wanted to explore that in a certain way. And it certainly allowed me to do that. And it's got there's a lot more to the book. There's a big sprawling cast of characters, but that to me was the main emotional focus of the book.
So moving on to Disney, what was
Uh-oh.
your
Moving on to Disney,
yeah?
folks.
So what was your thought process behind Big Hero 6?
Well, there wasn't much of one. My partners in Man of Action came up with those characters in a comic book they were doing for Marvel Comics. And they were apparently on a list of properties that Disney Animation was looking at. Like, once they bought Marvel, how could they get involved in Marvel characters without stepping on the toes of what the Marvel Studios is doing? And Big Hero 6 was, I guess, just so obscure, but seemed to have some quality that they responded to. From there, it was just those guys at Disney Animation just going to town with it and really making it into not just an adaptation of a comic book or comic book characters, but that movie has a great story, has great stakes and great emotions, and you get into the characters, and they just really made a great movie out of it. So we're obviously thrilled. They did a tremendous job, and I guess the proof was in the success of the film, and now there's going to be an animated series with the characters, and it just keeps rolling.
So do you have any upcoming projects you could speak on?
I have a new comic book from Image that's coming out starting in July called The New Lieutenants of Metal, which is about a very hardcore superhero team of headbanging heroes who fight various villains. It's not the deepest idea. It's not the most emotional idea, but it's hopefully it'll be for people who pick it up a roller coaster ride, just a fun time. Which is, sometimes these things are just pure entertainment, and I like doing that stuff too, and that's kind of what this is.